Why chasing women backfires is simple, and it's probably not what you've been told. The moment you chase, you send a silent signal. My center is outside of me. She feels it before you've said a word. Your eyes are looking at her, but your power is leaning away from you, reaching, needing, grasping for approval. That energy kills attraction because it confuses polarity. Masculine presence collapses into pursuit, and pursuit without invitation feels like pressure. Pressure makes people protect themselves. They pull back. Then you chase harder. And the harder you chase, the more you train her nervous system to read you as anxious, lower value, and less trustworthy. But there's a cleaner, smarter way. And once you feel it in your bones, everything changes. You stop chasing and start choosing. You move like a man with a spine. You offer your world, not your need. And women respond to that faster than any line, trick, or hack because it resonates with something true in you. If what you've heard so far is shifting how you see yourself, stay with me until the end, because we're just getting started. Let's get brutally honest. Most men don't fail because they're unattractive. They fail because they communicate, "I'll do anything to keep you." That line might never leave your lips, but it lives in your behavior. Over-texting, over-explaining, over-justifying, over-complimenting, jumping when she delays, apologizing for standards, rescheduling your priorities to fit hers, and asking to be chosen instead of choosing. Attraction doesn't grow in the soil of over-availability. It grows where there's warmth, depth, and boundaries. Boundaries tell the truth about your value without you having to brag. Boundaries say, "I'm generous, but I'm not for everyone." That tension, access with standards, is what flips a woman's curiosity from casual to captivated. If this is hitting something inside you, drop your thoughts below. I read every single one. Here's the secret strategy most men never learn. You create pull, not by withholding affection, but by anchoring your center in your mission and inviting a woman into it. Think about the men you respect. They move slow. Their words are deliberate. They're friendly, but not fawning. They're kind, but they don't chase comfort. They're driven, but they don't sell their soul for attention. That combination, purpose, warmth, and selective availability, feels like gravity. Gravity doesn't beg. Gravity doesn't chase. Gravity makes things orbit. When your life has gravity, you don't need to hunt validation. You extend invitations. You lead with clarity, not pressure. I'm heading to this gallery on Thursday. Join if you want. No essays, no convincing, no selling. You signal, "I'm already going." And that one sentence shifts the dynamic from pursuit to choice. Psychologically, chasing backfires because it collapses value perception. Humans instinctively value what appears selective and aligned with standards. When you invest more than the situation calls for, especially before mutual interest is established, you create a value gap. She didn't earn your depth yet, but you handed it over. That mismatch reads as neediness. Neediness isn't just about texting too much, it's the emotional posture of hoping she will rescue you from emptiness. A woman doesn't want to be your oxygen tank. She wants to feel your lungs already full, able to breathe on your own, generous enough to share that breath, strong enough to walk away if the energy isn't reciprocated. That's the masculine frame. I am the source of my state. I enjoy you. I choose you. But I do not collapse for you. Hold that in your body. Shoulders open, jaw soft, eyes steady, spine long. Speak from your diaphragm. Pause more. Let silence be your ally. Presence communicates more than persuasion ever could. So how do you turn this into behavior you can apply tonight? Use the invite, invest, ignore the outcome sequence. First, invite. A clean, time-bound proposition with natural logistics. I'm grabbing coffee at 4 near the park after training. You're welcome to join. That's it. Not, if you want, if you're free, if it's not a bother. Cut the fluff. Second, invest proportionally. If she engages, match her energy with warmth, curiosity, and attention. But keep your rhythm. You can share a story, tease lightly, ask a purposeful question, but don't dump your whole autobiography or sprint to intimacy. Third, ignore the outcome. Your self-respect stays intact whether she says yes, no, or maybe. If she's vague, you don't chase. You clarify once, "No worries. Let me know by noon tomorrow if you're in. If not, I'll do it another time." Then you move. The psychology behind this is powerful. You communicate decisiveness, boundaries, and abundance without saying a word about them. Texting is where most men hemorrhage attraction. They confuse access with progress. Use the signal-to-noise rule. Every message should either create motion, create emotion, or create a moment. Motion sets plans. Emotion deepens the vibe. A shared laugh, a quick thought that reveals taste, a playful observation that shows you're present. A moment is when you hit pause after a high point. You let the conversation breathe so anticipation can form. Stop trying to close the sale in the chat. Make the chat the bridge to real life, and stop carpet-bombing compliments. One precise appreciation that shows you noticed something real beats 10 generic lines. There's a calm way you choose your words. It makes me lean in. That says you're paying attention. Then pull back. Let it land. Presence is strategy. Your body tells the story before your mouth does. When you stand, plant your feet. When you speak, slow your exhale. When you listen, keep your eyes on her eyes, not her lips or your phone. Let your gestures be minimal and grounded. Every fidget telegraphs nervous energy. Every stillness communicates a settled nervous system. A settled man is rare. Rare is valuable. The most seductive men aren't louder, they're clearer. They don't fill silence with noise. They let silence make space for tension, curiosity, and the next move. Think of your presence like a dimmer switch, not an on-off button. You can turn up intensity with eye contact and a slight smile. You can turn it down by leaning back and giving space. Master the dimmer. Women test men not to punish them, but to find truth. A test might look like a delayed reply, a joke that probes your insecurity, or a request that nudges your boundaries. Don't argue with tests. Demonstrate reality. If she's late without a heads up, you don't lecture. You adapt once, then lead. We'll keep this short since we're starting later. If she's playful but poking, you smile and redirect. You're trouble. I like it. Coffee first, chaos later. That line works because it sets a boundary with warmth. If she asks a loaded question, "Are you always this confident?" don't fall into a trap of proving yourself. Offer a frame. Confident, no. Clear, yes. Notice what just happened. You declined the challenge without becoming defensive. You turned the test into a moment of calm leadership. Now let's talk about abundance the right way. Abundance isn't an app full of matches. It's a life full of meaning. The fastest way to stop chasing is to be busy with things you would do even if you never dated again. Training, building, learning, creating, serving. A man on a mission has less time to chase because he's going somewhere. And women are drawn to motion, not chaotic motion, directed motion. When your day is architected with intent, your texts are concise, your invitations are clear, and your vibe says, you can join this momentum or not. I'm good either way. That's irresistible because it signals security and choice at the same time. If you know a brother who needs to hear this, send it to him today. Don't keep it to yourself. Here's a subtle truth. Mystery is not withholding, it's sequencing. You don't have to play hard to get. Be easy to be around and hard to possess. Reveal yourself in layers, earned through shared experience. Offer a vivid snapshot instead of a resume. Instead of rattling off what you do, invite her into a slice of your world. There's a tiny jazz bar in the basement of an old bookstore. The pianist doesn't smile until the last song. Come see why. Notice the imagery. It makes her feel something specific. That's mystery done right. You're not vague. You're vivid. Seducers who chase are trying to harvest before they plant. Plant desire with contrasts. Be grounded but playful. Listen deeply, then tease. Hold eye contact, then break it first with a smirk. Lead the plan, then give her a choice. I'm thinking wine at the rooftop or tacos at the market. Your call. You've already framed the night. She's choosing a flavor. That blend of leadership and collaboration is intoxicating. And it protects you from the exhausting dance of trying to win approval. You're not asking to be picked. You're asking if she'd like to join something already worth joining. Let's get tactical with the early stages. First encounter, you notice her. You approach with a relaxed smile. You open with something grounded in the present environment. No scripts. You've got a quietly dangerous smile. It just derailed my thought. Soft grin. Hold. Let her respond. Follow with a genuine, compact question that opens a lane. What's the story behind that ring? You're not interrogating, you're exploring. If she invests, answers with more than one word, you mirror that level of investment and build. If she gives a polite, closed response, you don't push, you exit with style. Good meeting you. Enjoy your night. That exit is huge. It leaves your energy clean, and paradoxically, that's when many women re-engage. Why? Because you didn't chase. You signaled standards and sufficiency. For dates, craft experiences that create micro-adventures rather than interviews. Movement beats sitting across a table for 2 hours. Start with a short activity that ends at a place with options. Walk the market, check an exhibit, swing by a pop-up. Keep it under 90 minutes, end on a high. Do not drag. When she's smiling, when the energy peaks, you cut it slightly early. I've got an early start tomorrow, let's continue another time. That exit anchors you as a man who values his time. Remember the peak-leave principle. People remember the peak and the ending. Design both. What about escalation? Stop trying to read minds, read bodies. If she leans in, if her pupils dilate, if she touches your arm, if her voice softens, those are green lights. Yellow lights are mixed signals, engaged but fidgety, teasing but distant. Red lights are clear resistance, turned away, crossed arms, short answers. Respect, red without drama. No rush. Then shift to something light. Nothing builds trust faster than a man who can pause desire without sulking or pressure. That self-control is sexy because it says, I want you, and I'm still leading myself. When you do move closer, do it slowly. Let your hand hover. Give her room to meet you halfway. Consent isn't a mood killer. It's the amplifier that lets chemistry turn up without fear. The men who understand this never need to chase, because women feel safe enough to approach them, signal clearly, and remain engaged. Let's decode mixed signals. Often mixed signals mean mixed interest or mixed clarity. Either way, you don't guess. You name what you see with warmth. I'm getting a yes and a maybe from you at the same time. Let's slow it down. That one sentence does 3 things. It shows awareness, leadership, and care. If she's truly interested, that opens the door to more direct communication. If she's not, you've protected your energy by stepping out of ambiguity. Your standard can be simple, enthusiasm or nothing. You're not here to convince, you're here to connect. Chasing also fails because it hijacks your nervous system. When you're chasing, you're future tripping, playing out what-ifs, reading tea leaves, checking your phone like a slot machine. You can't be magnetic when your mind is 10 minutes ahead and your breath is 10 inches high. Fix this at the physiological level. Before you message, before you walk in, breathe out slowly to empty your lungs, then let the inhale arrive on its own. Drop your shoulders. Unlock your jaw. Feel your feet on the ground. Speak from a lower register. These are not theatrics. They're switches that move you from frantic to grounded. A grounded man is rare, and rarity attracts. You also need a code. Simple rules that protect your frame. Try these. No double texting if logistics are already set. No good morning texts unless you've already built momentum and they make sense in the story of your connection. No last-minute plan changes to accommodate flakiness. You can reschedule once, then you move on. No canceling the gym, the meeting, the creative session for someone who's still undecided about you. No arguing over text. If there's tension, voice note or call, then meet. Keep your standards short and lived, not long and preached. When you live them, you barely need to explain them. They become the water you swim in. Let's talk about attention versus approval. Attention is easy to get and worthless to keep. Approval is easy to chase and impossible to satisfy. Desire is different. Desire shows up when you present a coherent life and a masculine core that doesn't wobble under stress. You don't try to be everything to every woman, you sharpen your taste. I'm into women who are curious, decisively kind and playful with time. Say it once, live it daily, filter ruthlessly. When you meet someone who fits, you lean. Not by chasing, but by intensifying presence, clarity, and invitation. You escalate with precision. I like the way you think. Let's elevate this. Thursday 7, the rooftop with the view. If she says yes, you focus on experience, not performance. If she says no, you thank her for the clarity and you keep moving. Detachment protects your dignity and preserves the connection for later. Because timing is real, and people remember how you handled their no. What about social proof? It matters, but not as a game. When your life is embedded in community, friends, mentors, projects, women see you being chosen by the world. That's the only pre-selection that counts. Posting thirst traps with attractive women to make someone jealous is low-status behavior. Instead, be the man who introduces people, who hosts, who creates nights where others connect. A creator has pull. A consumer chases. Be the former. There's a difference between courting and chasing. Courting is intentional, dignified, and mutual. You lead with offers, time, attention, experiences. Because the woman has reciprocated interest and earned deeper access to you. Chasing is throwing energy into a void and calling it effort. You should give lavishly when the current runs both ways. You should hold back when it doesn't. This isn't playing hard to get, it's playing true to yourself. When you align with this, you stop resenting women for saying no, and you start appreciating the women who say yes with both feet. Let's simplify everything into a daily practice so it becomes muscle memory. Morning. Move your body. Lift something heavy. Sprint or sweat in a way that demands focus. That teaches your nervous system to meet pressure without panic. Midday. Pursue your mission. Ship the project. Make the sales calls. Study deliberately. Mission makes you magnetic. Afternoon. Practice social reps. Talk to people without agenda. Compliment the barista's tattoo because you mean it. Ask the doorman about his day. Laugh with the cashier. You're training ease. Evening. Design your dates like you design your workouts. Warm up, peak, cool down. Invite with clarity, meet with presence, end with standards. Night. Review without judgment. What signals did you miss? Where did you overinvest? Where did you lead well? This loop produces mastery quickly because you're not waiting for someone to validate you. You're sculpting yourself. Remember, your words set the frame, but your life holds it. If your apartment is chaos, your calendar is chaos, your finances are chaos, your energy will leak, and you'll chase because you're trying to plug holes with attention. Clean your space. Keep your promises to yourself. Stack small wins. A man who respects his own time becomes extremely attractive because he won't spend it recklessly. And that brings us to the paradox. The moment you're truly willing to walk away is the moment most women want to come closer. Not because you're withholding, but because your freedom creates a safe container for her to relax. There is nothing more seductive than a man who wants her, but doesn't need her. If at this point you're feeling your posture change, good. You're stepping into a deeper, quieter confidence, the kind that doesn't announce itself or apologize for itself. From now on, you'll offer invitations, not explanations, clarity, not pressure, curiosity, not interrogation, presence, not performance. You'll let attraction breathe instead of smothering it. You'll remember that the most valuable thing you bring is your centeredness. When you stop chasing, you discover something radical. Women who are right for you start signaling harder. They text back with energy. They offer times. They lean in. And the ones who don't? You bless them and continue. No drama, no stories, just standards. Before we close, hear this as a mentor who's walked men through this transformation for years. You don't need to become someone else to be magnetic. You need to return to the version of you that's already grounded, already focused, already capable of choice. Strip away the habits of chasing, over-explaining, over-pursuing, over-pleasing, and what remains is presence. Presence is the product. Presence is the plan. Presence is the strategy that works because it changes how she feels around you. Safer, more alive, more curious. That's what she follows. Not the words, not the tricks. The way her body settles next to yours because you're settled within yourself. If what you've heard here has sharpened your lens and steadied your breath, stay with this as a daily practice. Rewatch, take notes, apply one piece tonight. If there was a moment that hit you in the gut, tell me which line it was and why. I read every single one, and your words help other men sharpen theirs. And if you know a brother who keeps burning himself chasing, send this to him today. Don't keep it to yourself. The world doesn't need more men begging for attention. It needs more men choosing with clarity, leading with warmth, and standing still enough to let desire come to them. That's the secret. That's the strategy. Stop chasing, start choosing, and watch what and who starts choosing you.